Welcome to How Can I Keep From Singing, a podcast where we explore the different aspects of the power of singing together. My name is Stuart Stotts. I'm coming to you from rural Wisconsin. In this week's episode, we have two guests, Lauren McElroy and Bev Grant. We'll start with Lauren. Lauren McElroy is a queer, black, experimental fiber artist who's also a very fine and practiced song leader. In particular, Lauren works with Wisconsing, an organization that provides spaces where people can explore the joy of singing together. Lauren comes to us today from Viroqua, Wisconsin. Lauren, welcome to How Can I Keep From Singing?
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm delighted you could make time to do this. Let's start by just talking about Wisconsing. That is a very interesting event that occurs semi-regularly. Talk a little bit about how you got involved and what the organization is.
I got involved. I was there in their very first year. I led song there. I took a little bit of a break for a few years because I had some small children. And then I came back to leading song at Wisconsing and some of the other satellite events that Wisconsing hosts. The best way I can describe Wisconsing is a gathering of people who want to connect with each other, with the land, to be in community and village with each other, to support each other in their healing, their growth, our larger work in the world.
So a little logistics, first of all. When was that first year? How often do people get together? What's the format look like?
The first year was probably 2019. I was involved with the community singing movement before that at another gathering called Village Fire. The format is like summer camp. A bunch of folks, families, individual people come to a remote location. And throughout the day, there are different song circles that are themed. Wisconsing in particular is based off of the Spiral of the Work That Reconnects, which is Joanna Macy's work. The song circles follow that structure. So we come in gratitude, often singing songs of joy and connection. We move into honoring our grief. That brings a different flavor of song. And then we see with new eyes. We experience some healing with that. And then going forth, which are often songs of motivation and inspiration, movement kind of songs.
How many people and how often?
I would guess around 200. At the last gathering where we just moved to a new location, that was around 175 people. And as the project grows, I think it will be able to accommodate more people. Wisconsing happens annually.
It sounds like a very intentional sort of gathering, as opposed to simply a bunch of people sitting around singing folk songs. I do know Joanna Macy's work. Who helped shape this process in terms of connecting it to singing? How did that happen?
Yeah, the woman who founded it, her name is Kava. You should interview her too. She's going to have a lot more answers for you on the logistical side of things.
The songs that you sing at these gatherings, are they curated by folks who are coming there to be song leaders, or do people who come to sing bring things? Is there a theme or a common well that these songs are drawn from?
Structured song circles that are led by song leaders who have been called in to lead song at a particular time will curate the song choices, either songs that they have created themselves or songs that other song leaders have created. And then there are also open periods where we'll be around a fire at night where it's less formal and anyone can share a song. Or sometimes we'll have song workshops where new songs that are being born will experiment with each other and get to hear each other's voices and layer and harmonize with each other.
You work as a song leader, so you are doing some number of these song circles.
That's correct.
So, what are some songs that you have used in the past that you find successful for group singing, and how are you thinking about making those choices?
So, the songs that I choose are chosen intuitively. When I'm called in to lead a song circle or a ritual, I will spend some time meditating, getting quiet, and allowing the songs that want to come in to just pop into my head, and then I'll write them down. But there's also a lot of in the moment song that come up. Sometimes it could be a word or a bird or the wind just blowing the song into my mind, a conversation that I've had with someone. These songs, I believe that they are there when we need them. And the songs themselves will tell you when they want to be sung.
You must have a pretty good repertoire to be able to just draw from.
Yes. It's been a lifelong experience of mine that if I hear a song, I just memorize it, and I kind of can't help it. I've got jingles in there from when I was a child, and these really amazing healing songs and songs that are great for being out in the streets and marching. And there's not a whole lot of filter when it comes to what songs get memorized. They're all just in there.
How did you come to this? Were you raised in a musical family? Were you a musician in high school? What brought you to music?
My mom will tell anyone who will listen the story of when I was 4 years old at someone's wedding, got on the table and sang My Heart Will Go On from Titanic to the crew at the reception. Ever since I can remember, I have been singing. I started more formally singing in elementary school. We had a choir, and then I continued on to choir in middle school and high school, doing some specialty choirs, doing some voice lessons. I went to college for classical voice. And when I left school, I moved out to the countryside in rural Wisconsin, and a woman named Liz Rogg showed up at the intentional community where I was living, and she introduced me to this whole community singing world, which was everything that I loved about singing in a group with none of the notation and the preciseness that was required of me in classical voice training. So I had that training, but then when I was introduced to the community song, it just felt so intuitive and ancestral, the call and response, the way that I was able to memorize. And I didn't set out to be a teacher. People have just asked me to teach. I can remember the first time that I was introduced to the Dharma was through song. I memorized this song written by Lawrence Cole that was a gatha of Thich Nhat Hanh's. And it wasn't until many years later that I was reading Thich Nhat Hanh's work that I was like, oh, I know this. I've been exposed to this. I have a song for this. And that has been a really wonderful convergence in my life of song and Dharma.
You're listening to How Can I Keep From Singing? My name is Stuart Stotts, and my guest today is Lauren McElroy.
All things change. I at the moving house spirit the roofs me.
Talk a little bit, Lauren, about the experience that you have or that others as part of Wisconsing have of just singing together.
My experience when people sing together, especially over a couple of days, is this massive heart opening, this initiation. It feels like walking through a portal. People come out of these experiences changed. There have been many times when people have been singing and then crying and then laughing and then dancing and then crying and then singing again and hugging each other. And it's just transformative. You can see it, you can feel it. It vibrates your whole body, it vibrates the whole room. And I think, like with metta practice, it reverberates out to the whole world.
You clearly have a deep spiritual connection to the work as well. Can you talk just a little bit about how you see this work of making music with people, singing with people, connecting to your vision of the world as a spiritual place?
I think about the first verse in the Tao Te Ching, which is something like the Tao that can be spoken is not the true Tao. I caught this song recently that has the words, "I am but one voice among many. There's nothing better than silence, but what comes close is a song." There's nothing that can replace the direct experience, but you can get kind of close by singing together. There's nothing that I could say that could replace someone's inner knowing of what it feels like to be a spiritual being in the world. But when we sing together, something happens. We touch something deeper. I feel like the songs themselves are singing through me. The songs themselves are calling us into remembering, calling us back home to ourselves. The songs are a spiritual technology that we can use to access our true selves.
In these songs, how much do the words matter?
I think that varies. There are layers. It can get deeper as you sing a song over and over again, because a lot of these songs are repetitive, almost like a mantra. You sing them over and over for a good 15 to 30 minutes. At first, you might not be quite so sure of the words. You might not have all the notes, but like as a group, the group can hold the song. So even if you forget a word, the person next to you has a word, and together we have the song as a group. It's like with anything, with practice and repetition. You might not be so sure. You might be thinking a lot in your head. Oh, I got to get these words right. I got to get these notes right. And then at some point, which I'm sure varies for everyone, the words fall away, or even just the thinking of the words falls away, and you really experience the spirit of the song. And words are tools that can help us to understand, to have a concept. And when you repeat it over and over, new meanings are revealed. You get new insights and new understandings at different points in your life. Like with the song that I was referencing earlier, that was Agatha of Thich Nhat Hanh's. At the time, I just knew I liked singing it and singing it with other people. And then years later, it became a new insight and it became new. I think there are layers to how the song is experienced in terms of words.
So, Lauren, if you're going to a song circle of some kind, recognizing the value of the spontaneous and the intuitive response to the moment and what song may come, nevertheless, in your repertoire, are there 3, 4, 5 songs that you consistently feel like are in your pocket, ready to go, whether you use them or not, but they have a certain success in terms of singing with a group?
Yeah, if I'm with a new group of singers or people who aren't necessarily used to singing, because I do a lot of teaching in the fiber arts world and in the meditation space, which people may or may not be accustomed to singing, I will go towards the more simple call and response style songs. All of these songs are taught in the oral tradition. So it's always call and response, but there are some that are layered with harmonies, with lots of words, but then there's a structure of a song that is mostly call and response, and that's what makes up the song. So they don't have to memorize a part.
Have you got a couple examples of songs like that?
This is a Serena Partridge song. This is a song for thankfulness and gratefulness. I'll often sing this in the space of a meal blessing, which is something that I'm often asked to do. Gather the gifts gather the gifts and give 'em away, and give 'em away. All things fade, all things fade, but love will stay, but love will stay. So let's sing our songs, let's sing our songs, and thank the land, and thank the land. And then this part, everybody sings together. Side by side, heart to heart, and hand in hand.
That's lovely. And I can see easily how people in the call and response vein could make that song work real well. Good. Well, before we're out of time, if you got one more that also comes to mind.
One more that also comes to mind. Okay, this one's a zipper song. This is a song for imagining the future that we want to live in. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound. There'll be freedom in that land. We'll be walking hand in hand. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound. And then you put in whatever you want to see in the world that you're creating. There'll be dancing in that land. There'll be dancing in that land. There'll be dancing in that land where I'm bound. There'll be dancing in that land. We'll be walking hand in hand. There'll be dancing in that land where I'm bound. Whatever you want. So love, clean water, food for everyone.
Chocolate.
Community, chocolate.
Popcorn.
Yes, all the snacks.
Lauren, thank you so much for talking with me here today. I will put information in the notes about, in particular, Wisconsing, but also any contact information that you would like about your own work, so that people can get in touch if they would like to. I also appreciate you singing for us here at the end, and I can see how both of those songs would work very well in group singing. So, thank you very much for talking with us here today.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
I am but one voice among many.
A voice of clarity.
There's nothing through than silence to lead on to the beyond.
You're listening to How Can I Keep From Singing? My name is Stuart Stutz, and my guest today has been Lauren McElroy. My next guest is Bev Grant.
In the air, all South Africa, singing everywhere, freedom has come. Celebration time, all South Africa.
Bev has been a musician all her life, singing and playing with a family trio as a child. She had a band for many years, Bev Grant and the Human Condition, as well as other musical collaborations. She's also known as the founder and longtime director of the Brooklyn Women's Chorus, a group that has amplified social justice themes through music since its founding in 1997. Her work as a choral director with the Brooklyn Women's Chorus produced 2 acclaimed CDs, gave voice to women's labor history and struggles, infusing performances with messages of justice and empowerment. Bev received the Joe Hill Award and other honors for contributions to labor and feminist causes. She lives in Brooklyn. Welcome to How Can I Keep From Singing, Bev?
Thank you very much.
I'm wondering if you could tell me about the Women's Chorus.
I was asked by some friends of mine if I would direct them in a chorus. They lived in Montclair, New Jersey. So I had been at a workshop that taught me a couple of South African songs and stuff. And I felt, well, yeah, sure. And I had no experience as a choral director. So for the next 5 years, I would go out there every other week to New Jersey, and I learned how to arrange songs on my computer. And so I made charts and I taught them, but then the commute got really rough. And somebody at the Brooklyn Ethical Society, where I often perform, suggested we do a chorus and we could rehearse there. So there was somebody in the Park Slope Food Co-op that put the word out there, and we gathered women and we started the Brooklyn Women's Chorus. And it was started with the concept that everybody can sing. And I never auditioned anybody. We became a chorus. It was a wonderful chorus. It is a wonderful chorus. And I was able to be the director. I accepted my role as leader. That's been rough for me over the years, where I've not been comfortable. But I realize it's the people that take responsibility that are usually the leaders. Here I was, and I just pursued that. And I picked the repertoire with their consent and developed some skills to do warm-ups and pretended I was a director, imagine myself as Leonard Bernstein sometimes, it's like, yeah, and I had no training, but I did have harmony training and I had sung in choruses. I was with the Brooklyn Women's Chorus for 25 years. The most wonderful thing about it was the fact that we did not audition people and people learned to sing. And when that happened, when somebody would find their voice, it was like very emotional for them, but for me as well, and for everybody. They would find their voice because we would do what we call zipper songs, like there's somebody sang for me, had me on their mind, took the time to sing. Somebody mopped, somebody cooked, somebody what? And I would just point, and if they were ready to sing that one line, that's where you would find out if they could carry a tune, if they had the confidence to try it. Sometimes it was like, please don't call on me. I'll let you know when I'm ready. And they would let me know when they were ready. Or there would be short solos in songs, or trios would pop out and people would volunteer. And I tended to favor the people that did not have the confidence, sometimes to the chagrin of the people that did. But they learned. They understood the importance of it. As the years went by, they'd stopped feeling like I have a better voice than that person. Why shouldn't I get the part? But that wasn't the point. It was never the point to have the best voice do the parts. It was to have the experience, to share that experience with people. And it changes lives. Many stories of people who said they were told not to sing, to move their lips when they were kids. What a terrible thing. Destroys joy. There's a joy in singing. For me, when I'm depressed, I try to remind myself, go sing because you're going to feel better, and no matter how bad I might have felt when I went to a rehearsal with the chorus, I'd come back feeling so much better, and so did everybody else. And it was amplified by the fact we were doing social justice music, because most of us in the chorus were activists or people who sympathized somewhat to the left of center. For some, that was the main reason to be there, because it was not just the singing, it was singing the lyrics, singing a Woody Guthrie song, singing one of my songs, singing a Pat Humphrey song, or Holly Near's song, or any of the social justice music that I brought. People would suggest songs as well. It was a remarkable experience. Singing in a group like that is a remarkable experience. And fortunately, I gave them a year's notice during the pandemic. We met during the pandemic online. I gave them a year's notice, and they went through 2 years with 2 different directors that didn't really inspire them. But this last year, they found a young woman who's got lots of enthusiasm, lots of skill, more skill than me on a level of, intellectual level, say. She really inspires them. And I feel so gratified that has happened, because for me, it's part of my legacy. I feel fulfilled and supportive of them. And I enjoy harmony singing as well, but I've not been as active vocally because I'm losing my voice. But I go to open mics where there's no pressure.
Bev, thank you so much for talking about the women's chorus there in Brooklyn. Fascinating to me to hear all of that.
You're welcome.
Freedom, hallelujah, time has come. They're singing free.
You've been listening to How Can I Keep From Singing? A production of Common Arts. My name is Stuart Stotts, and my guest today is Lauren McElroy.
They're singing freedom. They're singing freedom.